Well, hello. We'll let a few people log in. Thought we'd do some Q&A. Received all sorts of comments about the bolt rivet incident, and so I thought I'd at least answer that one. Welcome, Sabina. Thought I'd answer questions about the London Marathon. So if you've got any questions, do just join in. I'm in my garage on my bike. Haven't run since the marathon. I'm really trying to let the legs heal. Read in a book, can't remember which book it was, I think it was about how to run fast or something like that. It said that you should take a full 2 weeks off running post-marathon because of all of the trauma that your body's gone through. So here I am in the garage. If you've got a question, drop it down below. I am going to answer the most asked question that I've had on my comments across Instagram and TikTok this week, which is, why didn't you just stop and take the rivet out of your shoe? And, well, I actually did. I took it out somewhere around the mile 16 or 17 mark. I got it it went through the carbon plate around mile 4 or 5, and honestly, you plan for everything. You plan for, like, what if I shit myself? What if I vomit? What if I feel dehydrated? What if I get cramp? What if I'm under-fueled? You've never thought about what if something goes through the bottom of my shoe. I actually thought it was like a bottle top. I thought the air bubble had popped. But I could feel it poking my foot. And the reason I didn't want to stop is because I knew that when I did stop, I would cramp. I would seize up. And so eventually, when I did stop, it just got too unbearable to keep on going with it. That's exactly what happened. I completely seized up. I completely cramped. So, thanks so much. It was a tough day. Yeah. It was so hot. It was so hot. And I think it's a bizarre one because I've run a lot in the heat before. I love it, actually. It's my favourite. But I think because it had been cold the week before and the day before, I think we were all just massively unprepared. We'd seen the weather and thought, oh yeah, it's going to be nice. But you forget what hot can feel like. So I'm kind of chalking it down to that, really, to just we were all caught out. Even though we'd seen the forecast, we had been told that it was going to get warm. We just didn't know it was going to feel like that because it hadn't been warm in the days preceding. British weather, hey? You just can't really account for it. So welcome to all of you who just joined. If you want to ask any questions about my London Marathon experience, there were lots of tears, lots of pain. But yeah, just tackling off some of the questions now. Meg wants to be in my chat. Gee. Do you really want to be in the video, Meg? Comment down below if you think Meg should join the live video. Meg hasn't run a marathon, but she has just entered the ballot for a marathon. I've requested... Yeah, you have. Will I do it again? Yeah, I hope so. I've put myself in for the ballot next year. Yeah, Meg, if you've requested to join, that means you want to be on video. And yeah, none of us want to see you on the toilet taking a shit. Yeah, I've entered the ballot. I don't know, and it's an interesting one. Like, getting a good for age place felt really good, and it meant that I could sort of go past the whole ballot phase. But yeah, I've applied for the ballot. I've actually put my name down for a couple of the mental health charities. I'd love to run it for charity next year if I do it, and actually just not go for pace and time, just go for just to raise some money, raise awareness. One of the other things that's been overwhelming this week is people's response to the videos of me crying. And sorry about this spot, by the way, yeah, people seem to have a real hard time with guys crying and be a man, grow up, don't be a baby, all that sort of stuff. And I feel really passionate about mental health. I've battled anxiety and depression for, well, probably since I was about 19, so about 6 years. No, that's not true. It's 26 years. Yes, that was my wife. It was I had thought I would see her earlier in the race, and I just didn't. You wouldn't even believe, actually. Well, you would if anyone who's run a marathon knows that, like, the cognitive drain. But I spent the whole time just looking for Laura because I was having such a hard time. And when I finally saw her, it was like, oh my goodness, like the relief. Yeah, never has. Yeah, that hug was like a balm. Yeah, I think, crying is good. I think there is absolutely nothing wrong as a man with crying and showing your emotion and being raw. And I think I picked the wrong workout on Zwift, by the way, because it's I'm a little bit more out of breath than I thought it was going to be. This ride I'm doing is called Mend. Just all about kind of just easy, gentle recovery. But yeah, I'm finding it's pretty hot. I've not got the fan on because I don't know if it'll mess up the audio. I think last time it did. So I'm cooking like a bun in the oven right now. Yeah, so if you've got any questions about London Marathon, running, anything, life, just drop them in the comments and I shall respond to them. But yeah, in the ballot for next year. Can't wait. Really hope I get it. I've got Valencia Marathon in December, which is kind of like the big target race now. Got a few months just to prep and then properly get dialed in for that. Yeah, so will that be your first for next year then? I think I just love it. I think seeing people run a marathon, cheering people on a marathon, I think it's just so inspiring. I think for years I never had the desire to do it, and I think once you see it, you see the best of humanity in a way. Oh, awesome. I think it looks like a great race, Valencia. Nice and warm, but in December, so a little bit of winter sun maybe. And who doesn't love patatas bravas in great quantities when you're carb loading? It's like a dream, isn't it? Overall, I feel really pleased with the race. I mean, literally 35 minutes off my target pace, but I think so many people had that exact same experience. Well, not the exact same experience, not the bolt in the shoe, but people really struggled. People were hustling out there big time. So just very proud that I finished, if I'm honest. Really pleased that I just kept on going. I've always said to people that I really believe that my mental fortitude is really strong. And yeah, I suppose I had a real opportunity to prove it. Probably idiot mode as well. I probably am just a bit deranged. But I think that's what happens when you're in your 40s. Yeah, much hotter than expected, yeah. I think that's the same for all of us. I mean, my favourite kind of running conditions, genuinely, would be like in south of France, middle of the day in the heat of the summer. You know, high 30s, beating sun. I absolutely love it. But I'm ready for it. I'm prepared for it. And, oh, Hopi! Are you in Brazil? Oh, maybe. Lost my train of thought. Yeah, running in the summer, I love it, but we just weren't ready for the heat. I hate winter running. I mean, yeah, I get it. I get why people like it. I get why people enjoy it, because it's not as hot and all of that. But yeah, give me a hot summer's day, but let me just be prepared for it. Have all of the nutrition, all the hydration sorted. I think if there's one thing, I'm just gonna dry my face. I think I am a profuse sweater. You'll see it now. I mean, honestly, I sweat just like putting my underpants on in the morning. Oh, you're a nut job. 5 a.m. dark and cold is horrible. Dark and cold, actually, I don't mind. Dark and cold and wet. No one wants that. Where were we? I don't know. We were just talking. Running in the rain is the best. Gee. Honestly, Instagram brings out all sorts, doesn't it? Again, running in the rain, in the warm, yeah, don't mind that. But trying to do an interval session in the rain, in the cold, and you're soaked through, you're cold, you're doing a hard rep, and then and then you're resting in the cold. Horrible. How many gels did I end up having? I had 5. So I had the Science and Sport Beta. Yeah, I'll come back to that one. Yeah, I had the Science and Sport Beta gels, 40 grams of carbs. I realised, and this is in the YouTube video actually, I realised on the start line that I had brought one too few. Just in the moment, I had it in my bag in the hotel, packed the gels into my shorts for the race, and didn't think about the one that I was planning on taking on the start line. So I was underfueled, frankly. Real rookie mistake. I think given the heat as well, again, just hadn't played that into consideration in terms of thinking how much fuel I need. Yeah, skin is waterproof, for sure, but clothing isn't. And you've got the dilemma of, in fact, here is all of my different running jackets. Here's one that is waterproof. It's waterproof, but it's hot. So you get, I don't know, I'm just making excuses. Do you know what? I haven't had any sweets since Christmas, and I stopped at some point and had some cola bottles at somebody's thing, someone's stop, and yeah, I completely cramped up. But it was nice. It was lovely having a cola bottle. What do people do before gels? Yeah, honestly, I think it's a great question. There were people out there running. There were people out there running 2:10 marathons in, just old racing flats without any of this nutrition back in the 70s. So, yeah, I don't know what people did. Stop for a slice of bread, piece of toast. I guess probably it would have been through drinks. How many crabs an hour? Crabs? Are we sure? I mean, I went to the doctor and I think I sussed it, but I was aiming to take 40 grams every 25 minutes, so around the 100 grams an hour mark. The heat was gnarly. Yeah. Just felt like a different heat. I've had so many comments from people that were like, I've run London in the heat before, it felt different. Carbs, I assumed. I don't have crabs. I did get them sorted, despite the rumours, despite what people say. Yeah, I got that tackled back in 98. That was a rough summer. Yeah, I don't know what it was about the heat. It was just, it's oppressive. And also, I mean, my thoughts on London generally, it's a very narrow course, very congested, You spend a lot of time ducking and diving and being in very, very close proximity to other people. There are points where there is literally no space to breathe. A couple of people said to me that when they got to Canary Wharf, which is like mile 14, like they slowed down to a walk to get through bottlenecks. That's shit, if I'm honest. Like, you shouldn't have that. Thanks. Honestly, I enjoy making my videos. A lot of people don't apparently get my sense of humour, but that's what makes it more funny for me. Hopefully they're inspiring as well. I just try and keep it honest and real, and yeah, if you guys want a real laugh, head on over to the video of me finishing, but on TikTok, and it has brought out the best of the trolls. It's unreal. The conversations are unbelievable. Find it very hard not to respond. Old school guys used to make up their own fuel. Yeah, I think that's right. And I think you can make your own gel mix. I know that I've seen a recipe for the Morton gels online. You buy maltodextrin and glucose and stuff. Look, I'm not going to pretend I'm a scientist or a chef, but I know that you can mix your own stuff. We're part of a disposable, quick win society though, so gels are pretty easy. I think why... Well, I know that you shouldn't fuel the trolls. I get it. But they fuel the algorithm. It's a bit of a funny scenario when you're like, I know that I shouldn't respond and bait them, but then them coming back and adding another couple of views whilst they respond. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. But yeah, I can't help myself. But often I do actually say to them, thanks for coming and boosting the algorithm. That normally shuts them up. Yeah, narrow roads. I think you could do a marathon like in the open air with that level of heat, and you wouldn't feel it. But if you've ever walked around London on any day, it's oppressive. I mean, it's so the sun beating off those glass buildings, it does create an oven. So you just kind of have to roll with it. Yeah, it's definitely a learning. Complete, like, literal polar opposite from running Loch Ness in September, where for the last 5 miles, I think I was about a minute and a half behind the guy in front and a couple of minutes ahead of the person behind. So there was literally no crowd, just me, some trees. I think it was about 2 miles when you get into Inverness, where you finally sort of rejoin sort of civilization. And by that point, like, you're just dealing with people that are absolutely hammered, sitting in the pub cheering you on, which is great fun. I enjoyed that. Yeah, likewise, I do all my running in the country on my own. I'm not a part of a running club. I do everything on my own. So even just the crowds is an over experience. Enjoy the game. Don't know what game you're going to watch. Let us know. Spectating a race apparently is tiring. Laura, my wife, slept the entire way home. I cried the entire way home. But yeah, she was absolutely exhausted. And she came and did the shakeout run with us the couple of days before, so she was also pretty beaten from that 2 miles. Literally sweating like a gorilla. Oh gosh, yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, it is like, I think that's the thing. It's the sudden, like, even on that Saturday, right, Jen, the day before when we were running, it wasn't warm. Like, it was pleasant, but it wasn't warm. Most of that day, I think I wore a jumper or a hoodie. And then the next day, it was like, boom, summer. You know, right from standing around in Blackheath, literally just in my vest. By the way, you can see the vest mark there. Actually cramping now in my tricep. Extraordinary. Had random cramps all week. It was just, there was no, I think we were all just totally surprised. I think you can, like, running in any condition is fine if you're completely prepared for it. I think my learning is I'd like to do a sweat analysis. I'd like to know how much sodium I lose when I sweat, because my guess in terms of the cramps is I think I lose a lot more than I think I do. And actually, when I come in off training runs, often my face is white with sweat, so I may need to really think about the electrolytes and think about that going forward in terms of how much I take on board. And obviously, if you listen to the PKS Running Club podcast, I'd advise you to. You can subscribe on Apple iTunes or anything else. Had an amazing conversation with Ellie Stevens, who won the Mesa Marathon 2:39, having had 10 years out due to illness. She was vomiting through that race, and she put it down to like just not having the right balance of electrolytes and stuff like that. Are those trees trashed? Yeah, totally trashed. They've literally got a hole all the way through the carbon plate, and then sort of cracks that go off it. I haven't posted about this actually because it's like I've been trying to drip feed the content, but I contacted Nike during the week, and they were devastated for me. So they've said that they will completely refund them, which is just it's so kind. I cried a lot when I got that message. Better ways to acclimate to the heat. I think you just have to do it more. Put yourself out there. Make yourself uncomfortable. Even just doing what I'm doing now. I mean, I'm on my bike in the garage and haven't got the fan on. It's really hot, like I'm burning. It's boiling outside. Just getting used to training in the heat, I guess. I mean, there's got to be a reason why boxers wear those like bin bags or like sweatsuits for training runs, so that they feel that extreme heat. They sweat loads. I think they're doing it for other reasons. I think it's part of the cut, maybe. But yeah, being used to running in the heat is good. Yeah, they're going to refund, which is amazing. You might be a minute or so behind, I don't know. Welcome Toby, welcome Joe, welcome Kerry. Thanks so much, all of you that are joining. Honestly, this week I've been blown away by the support and the love. Loads of like dick questions of like, oh, why are you running with a selfie stick, man? Like, you should put that down, you could run faster. Again, I have to restrain myself from saying I could probably run faster with the selfie stick than you could without, but look, I'm not that guy. I mean, I'm that guy, but I'm trying not to be that guy. But yeah, people's love and support has been, overwhelming, really. It's been amazing. You don't realise when you put yourself out there. Meg, are you taking a shit again? You can't join. If you're on the toilet, you can't join. That's the rule. So if you request to join, that means you want to be on camera. I don't know how else I can say this to you. But if you haven't, funnily enough, lots of you here. Did I cry? Yeah, big time. Absolutely. I reckon from about mile 17 or 18, I was just crying every couple of minutes. Relentlessly. I cry, honestly, I cry anyway. I cried when my wife came down the aisle and cried through the whole wedding ceremony. I cried when I gave my speech at my wedding. I cried when all of my children were born. Yeah, I mean, I'm always crying. So when I got through the finish line, yeah, there was a lot of tears. And then honestly, this week, when I've been reading people's comments, I've been crying all the time. Like, genuinely, it's just been really moving. But yeah, because we're on Instagram, if you've not found me on YouTube, I do long form videos every week about the training and the journey, and you'll be able to see a bit more of the context. Yes, best shakeout ever. So I met Jen through Insta, and her crew, crazy. Yeah, I bottle them. I bottle all my tears, use them as electrolytes. That, and I actually bottle Kenyan elite athletes' sweat. I've been doing that for a number of years now. I store it up in bottles and I just drink it every once in a while when I need that kind of performance boost. Yeah, met Jen and her crew, the bitches, self-proclaimed, self-named, and we did a shakeout run on Saturday and had a hoot. Honestly, so much fun. That's what I love about this, meeting people. I met Shay on the train on the way there. He'd been watching the YouTube channel and we've been in touch since. He sent me some voice notes. Bizarrely, this week everyone has sent voice notes for the first time. And last week, Jen, you started that. Great to meet Ian Worsfold in person. Met a few other people who had been following, and honestly, I just genuinely assume that no one watches this stuff. I know that the numbers are growing and stuff like that, but I kind of just assume it's bots or fake accounts, or people that followed me because of that, like literally like 10-second reel that I did of Elon Musk. But yeah, it's lovely when you hear that people genuinely are engaged in the story and the journey, and yeah, really humbling, really humbling. Like I set out doing this because I wanted to hold myself accountable, but at the same time I always knew that like I had a message that I wanted to share with people, and a story, and I wanted to be able to inspire people. A lot of social media is people with very perfect bodies, and look, you only ever see the top half. I'd say I'm quite proud of this, but I've got quite a flabby down here. You know, I'm just a normal guy that likes food and struggles with like the normal stuff. Suffers with mental health, has a normal job, has to buy his own running gear. So just trying to tell a slightly different narrative to all of the perfect running videos that you see online of pretty people getting dressed with a tiny little bit of side boob to attract the men, or the shoe reviewers who film videos of them just squishing the soles of their foot. I'm sure it adds value somewhere, but I'm just not sure where. So I want to do something that's a bit different, just a bit. I mean, look at it. I mean, it's like literally in my garage. That's because I'm not running. Would I do London again? Would I do it differently? Definitely do it without the rivet in my shoe, for sure. Yeah, I put my name in the ballot for next year. I'll do it for charity if I can. And yeah, I would do London differently. I would go with no pace expectations or time expectations. I would just go and enjoy it, soak it up, speak to people. I was so in my own head. I think there are better races to do if you want to do a PB. And so if I get another place, I'll go and maybe just go and help pace another runner. So, you know, somebody wants to do a 3:30, 4:30, just go and run with them. Go and help them take the camera, film their story, and I think that would be like more rewarding for me. Am I going to go for the majors? So I've got 1 star. Technically there's 7 to go. Thanks so much, Imogen. Enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, I think I would love to go for the other stars. I'll be honest, it has been made slightly harder by the fact that I now don't have a good for age qualifying time in the bank. My time from Loch Ness last year may still be eligible for some races next year, or I don't know. I'm going to need to do it. Oh, I so want to come to MIC. In honesty, I really want to get that 240 at Valencia, which will then hopefully be the ticket to get into other races on a good for age. Tokyo, I think, is the hardest to get into. Obviously now you've got Sydney, which honestly is just a very, very long way away. To really seriously think about doing the majors, probably in reality I need my Instagram to grow, and I need to try and make some money from it a little bit. You know, even if I can just have a little bit of sponsorship or something just to cover some of the costs. Marathons, if you're going for the time, are really expensive. Tokyo next year. Cape Town. Carb loading for Limerick. Now there's no chance Limerick's going to be hot, so you should be a good day. Tell me, what does your carb loading look like? I had pizza twice on the Saturday, living my literal best life. Bizarrely, literally 2 years ago, I ran my very first marathon. Before that, I'd had no desire to do a marathon at all. So I'm still trying to deal with the I kind of hate it and enjoy it all at the same time. But, you know, I'm 45 this year. Life is running away with me, and so, you know, you've only got a set time that you can do this sort of stuff. I hope that I'll still be running marathons in my 90s. But you just never know. Had carbonara on the Friday night. Absolutely heavenly. Was very, very delicious, actually. Very nice little Italian restaurant just outside the expo. Incredibly expensive on reflection. But might have been to do with the fact that I had a non-alcoholic cocktail that I think cost me about £12. What a sucker. Cocoa Pops, bagels, peanut butter? Or just peanut? One single solitary peanut. I hate peanuts. I hate nuts, peanut butter, I think it is vile. Enter Brighton. Yeah, I think that's a good shout. I think Brighton is probably a really decent option. I think any of the non-London UK marathons, I think, have got a chance of being really good because they're just not so crowded. Thing I really disliked about London is the fact that you've got all these merge points where, you know, different waves all melt into one pot. I think that just makes it so hard. But how do you deal with 46,000 runners? Other question that I've got for anybody that's done London is, obviously you meet up on Black Heath. Obviously a nice place to start, but you spend hours on this big green field, which again, if it was raining, that'd be horrible. Chester. Yeah, definitely. Chester, I think, is supposed to be really good for flat marathon. I think the heat really did. And I said earlier in the video, you might not have been online, I think the big issue for people is that people, like the days before, it wasn't hot. So you haven't had any time to kind of get into the mindset of it's hot. Like the day before, it was just average. The week before, it was average. And, you know, if we all went and ran a marathon tomorrow, having had this sort of heat wave in England this week, we would all take it so differently. And yeah, I think that's a huge factor. So I think coming in at 4:04 against 3:40, I think it genuinely does sound like par for the course. Yeah, the blue line. Literally never saw the blue line. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see a lot, if I'm honest. But yeah, I never saw the blue line. Yeah, open field, no shade, yeah. Yeah, 14 to 16, that is a heat wave for the Irish. To be sure. Yeah, someone commented earlier, Istanbul. I would love to do that. I spent 6 months working in Turkey when I was a young lad working on a beach in a hotel. I absolutely love that. Yeah, I'd love to go and run Turkey. That'd be incredible. Yeah, the blue line was free of screws and rivets. It's a fair point. When I reviewed all of the headcam footage that I've got, and I've got loads of it, the thing that surprised me, that I sort of remember from the day, is just how much I'm like ducking and diving up and down off pavements, over traffic islands, just to try and get through the crowd. So yeah, no wonder I picked up a foreign object, because I was just running all over the place. Served me right, really. But yeah, can you imagine though, right? If the guy that won it, can you imagine if he all of a sudden had a rivet in his shoe? I mean, probably he would have stopped and somebody would have got it out. But even getting it out of the chute, it took me 2 minutes. It was so firmly stuck in there. It was an absolute mission to get it out. Yeah. Any other questions? I'm just going to have a little drink break. I'm really very hot in here. Definitely wish you luck, Frank, with Limerick tomorrow. Do let me know how you get on. If you're not already following me on Strava, just come and find me and I'll follow you back. And always like celebrating other wins from people. Yeah, completely. I mean, what are the chances? Literally, what are the chances? Even I should have brought the shoe in actually. Even if it had gone 1 centimetre to the right, it would have pierced the foam of the shoe, and the head of the rivet would have stopped it going any further. And I probably would have been like, oh, I've got something in my shoe, I can feel it, but it's not going through the bottom of my foot. Yeah, is it hard? Everyone knows how to be, yeah. I think that is the common story that I hear about London. I think the roads are really narrow, quite a lot of turn. You've got people merging, so I think it is just that the streets aren't able to hold that volume of people. I did Manchester 2 years ago, and that felt like the roads were really wide, you had loads of space. I did I've only done 4 marathons, so I've not got a massive amount of experience, but I did Lisbon in Portugal, and apart from the end where you finish on cobbled streets, which is just torturous. Hang about, just need to change gears here, I'm freeloading down a hill. Yeah, finishing on cobbles was horrible, but again, it was like you just running along a long coastal road and there was loads of space, and yeah, that was fun. Recommend it. Stunning, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The irony of London is the only landmark that I have any recollection of seeing was Tower Bridge. Didn't see anything else. Didn't see the Tower of London. Don't know if anyone else did. I know it was at the end of Tower Bridge, but didn't spot anything. Maybe that's because I was really grinding and suffering, but yeah, didn't see it. Frank, good luck tomorrow, sir. I hope you have a really, really great run, and enjoy that carb loading. There is nothing quite like it, apart from the McDonald's, if you remember those adverts from the 80s. I think I'm probably going to need to sign off anyway in a minute. I've done 40 minutes, I was only going to do 30. All about resting and recovering the legs this week. Going to get out for a nice walk and a piece of cake later. But for now, I've definitely got a train approaching the station, which we don't want that to happen live. Absolutely guarantee it. So thank you all for tuning in. Do come and check out the long video on YouTube. Just search PKS Runs. And peace out, everybody. Enjoy your Saturday. And if you're out marathon running tomorrow, wish you all the very best of luck. You are a freaking legend. You trained hard, you've worked hard, you deserve a brilliant result. Peace out, folks. See you soon. Where's the end button? There it is. Nope. There it is.